This is the Influencer Entrepreneurs Podcast with Jenny Melrose, where I strategize with business owners on how to grow and scale their businesses to hit their income goals. This is episode 338 of the Influencer Entrepreneurs Podcast with Jenny Melrose. Today, we're going to talk about how to monetize your blog in 2023. Now, when we're looking at this, monetizing your blog goes well beyond simply having ads on your site. And we're going to actually dive into each of the little pieces of how we can continue to grow and get more income coming in so that we can make sure that we are treating this like a business. So we're going to start off with what are the different ways to actually monetize a blog. So when we're looking at it, of course, most people would almost immediately think of ad networks, ads to have on your site, whether it's Google ads, whatever it might be. And I always recommend that don't start off immediately by putting ads on your site if you are starting to try to grow your page views. Get to a point where you have at least 25,000 page views and then start to look for an ad network or an ad company that would work. Having Google ads on your site when you're only getting 100 page views in a month is not going to be anything but pennies. And in reality, it's going to push people away rather than keep them from coming to your site. So when we're looking at this ad network wise, we can start to look at She Media is one that has been around for a while. And of course, the two that are most well-known in the blogging world and it's epitome of where you are trying to get to is Mediavine and also, of course, AdThrive. Mediavine has a 50,000 sessions as far as where you have to hit for that benchmark. And then AdThrive has that 100,000. So depending upon where you are, looking into both of those as your page views start to increase and applying to them once you get close is going to be key for monetizing there. Then, of course, not only do we have ad networks, but we also have affiliate marketing is another option and sponsored content, as well as having your own product and service. So one of the questions you probably might be asking is, how do I know if my blog is ready to be monetized? And here's my thought process on this. If you know your audience and you have a problem that you are solving for them, then you can start to put things in place so that you can monetize. And the first thing that you want to put into place is having an opt-in or a freebie that is going to allow you to grow your email list that will show them that you are an expert and can help solve a problem for them. And this way, if you are then looking to have your own product or service as you continue to grow, they have an opportunity to get that and understand that that's what they are there for. You want to have an opt-in in place for that. As far as trying to monetize via ads early on, you heard me say earlier in this episode that I would honestly wait until you're close to 25,000 page views or sessions, because that's when it's actually somewhat lucrative to have ads on your site. Whereas if you only have 1,000 in a 30-day period, you're looking at dollars, pennies, whatever it might be. So it's definitely something to keep in mind. You can also start with affiliates and sponsored work as well. You don't need to have a certain amount of page views for either one of those. It's just a matter of gaining that audience that has that know, like, and trust factor with you. Another question can always be, can I make money from my blog if it has a small audience? You absolutely can. But again, you have to be focused on that problem that you solve. There are some sites that are very niche and are never going to have a huge audience because their site is so specific of the problem that they are solving for their audience. They absolutely can not only do ad networks potentially, but sponsored work, their own products and services, and affiliate marketing. So again, it's really honing in on the problem that you solve before you can try to decide how you're going to monetize. Another question is, how much money can I realistically make from my blog? This is a question that really depends upon your journey. How much time can you put into it? Also, the time that you are putting in, Is it the correct strategies that are working at that time? Are you focusing on the right things? And I know that this is difficult for some people because we all feel like, am I focusing on the right things? Am I continuing to grow my site the way that I need to be growing it? And this is where having a community of other bloggers is key. It is why I created a membership site, Influencer Entrepreneurs Insiders, so that you have an opportunity to really understand what others are doing and to get that personalized roadmap that many are looking for. So if you are looking for that, definitely think about joining in with us. But as far as how much money you can make, it really, again, depends on how you are going to monetize. There are some bloggers that are making $100 a month. And then there are those that are making upwards of 25,000 a month just on ads. And it can continue to grow. Of course, there may be teams in place. There's no ceiling with this. You can continue to grow it depending upon how diverse you can get. So we talked a little bit again about those best advertising networks to use on your blog. And I think that it's really going to be key that you determine who's going to be the right fit for you. So if you're hitting those 50,000 sessions, those 100,000 sessions, which ad network, Mediavine, AdThrive would be a good fit for you? And just looking to see what are the benefits that they each offer, whether that is behind on their consoles, whether that is in the free tools that they offer to grow your list, having those kind of discussions with them and seeing where it might be a good fit for you is going to be the reason that you want to kind of decide what way you're going to be swayed. So another question could potentially be, should I accept sponsored posts on my blog? And I absolutely agree that you should and can, but that you need to make sure that it is legit. All sponsored content needs to be no follow. It needs, in other words, those links need to be no followed, because if you are getting paid in exchange for a link, it has to be no followed according to FTC guidelines. So with that being said, if you are getting emails in your inbox and they are asking for a do follow link, that is not a sponsored post and you should not be doing that. As long as it is a legitimate company looking and understanding that you are creating content, no follow link is coming with it. Absolutely. Doesn't matter how small you are, you still have an audience. I actually have a podcast episode where I interviewed someone that had a very small niche site. I'm going to make sure that that's linked in the show notes. But you can see that it doesn't necessarily need to have that huge audience. Number 7 is, how do I find brands that are interested in working with me? The best way to do this is to start off by looking around your house. What are you already using? What brands are you already using in your content? If you're a food blogger, check out your pantry. If you're a makeup blogger, go and look at what makeup you are using. If you're an organizer, look at what you're using to organize. What brands are you already using within your home? And then trying to find an email address. I have an entire course that I am best known for, Pitch Perfect Pro, that kind of walks you through this. But I also have my pitch checklist, which is a guide that is going to tell you exactly what needs to be into that pitch and how to go about finding that correct email address. So that is also linked to in the show notes. Number 8 is, can I use affiliate marketing to monetize my blog? Absolutely. You heard me talk about that a little bit in the beginning about affiliate marketing. Doesn't have to be for a huge brand like Amazon or any of the brands that are on share sale, but it can also be for other bloggers that, again, has a product or service that is a right fit for your audience, solves the problems that they have. Affiliate marketing is one of the ways that you are making a percentage of whatever you sell. So it is your job to be able to sell that product. And you also have to make sure, again, that you are explicit about making sure that they are aware that you are disclosing that it is an affiliate relationship. And again, that link has to be no followed. Another question people will ask is, how do I create a successful e-commerce store on my blog? And this can be done many different ways. You can actually create a shop feature on your website. You can use Shopify in order to do this. You can use outside software like I do for Podia that actually holds all of my courses. You could use Teachable. You can have your printables actually on Sendowl that will deliver it, a PDF, an ebook. So there's lots of different options on how to do this. And if you actually go and check out Monica Froze, she offers a how to actually transform your site so that you can stop using ads and start having a shop that just naturally sells. So I'll link to that as well. The last and 10th question that I am most often asked about how to monetize your blog is, what are the legal and ethical considerations when monetizing the blog? And we've talked a little bit about each of these, especially for affiliate marketing and sponsorships. The idea that everything has to be disclosed. You have to make sure that it's a no-follow link. And you have to also, when you're disclosing, it needs to be disclosed before you link out. And then there also, depending upon the affiliate network, are certain regulations. So for example, Amazon, you have to, if you're going to send a link, an affiliate link to Amazon, if it's an individual link, it cannot be, it has to, actually, let's do it this way. It has to be from a way it can be found publicly. In other words, you cannot email your list and send them to an affiliate product link. You can send them to your affiliate influencer store that has a bunch of products that you suggest, but it cannot be an individual link. So if you are trying to put up an individual link to something that you love, it has to be able to be found publicly, which would be considered your blog. An email list is not considered public. People had to actually raise their hand to be part of that. So publicly would be your blog, where it can be found by anyone, anywhere. Same thing with YouTube. As long as it's publicly out there, it's not a private YouTube video that you've done for people just on your list. So again, that is only if you are trying to do it to a specific product. If you have an influencer Amazon store where you have lots of different products in there, and you can then link to that influencer store on Amazon. But again, you have to read the fine print when it comes to each of these, because there's very specific ways to disclose for Amazon. There's different ways to do it for share a sale or whoever else you're going to use. So understanding that is going to be important. The other piece is sponsored posts. When you have, and we talked a little bit about this before already, when it comes to sponsored posts that you are creating, you also have to disclose. You have to make sure that they are no follow links, that you are telling them that it is in a partnership, in collaboration with whatever language you're going to use. And you have to be clear on that relationship, not only on your blog, but also on social media. You need to be disclosing and using the features that are offered on social media platforms to show that it is sponsored, that it is a collaboration, in paid, or even in exchange for product. That has to be disclosed and let it known to anyone that sees it publicly. All right. I hope that this episode helped. I wanted to make sure I answered those top 10 questions that I've been getting asked over and over again over the years on how to monetize your blog. If you haven't already grabbed my pitch guide, make sure that you do. Sponsored posts is one of my absolute favorite ways to actually monetize, no matter what size you are. All right, you guys, until next time, I will see you all then.